Is the stock market crashing? Roar! What's up, Money Geeks? Mr. V here. Welcome to another video. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you guys my strategy for preparing for a stock market crash. I'm not sure when this is going to happen, but if you've been listening to the news lately, you would hear that something is going to happen, and all these smart people that are way smarter than I can ever imagine, they're coming out telling us that things are pointing towards a crash. And so the question is, do you want to take that risk and have the market crash on you, or do you want to prepare and just make sure that if it does happen, you're ready? I was taught that failing to prepare is preparing to fail. So, and I don't want to. I'd rather be ready and then it doesn't happen than not ready and then it happens. That's what happened in 2008. I wasn't ready and it happened. So now I want to make sure that I'm ready before it happens. And if it doesn't, hey, who cares? I was ready. It's not like I'm gonna be hurting if it doesn't happen. So my strategy is going to be broken up into two main parts. The first would be my defensive strategy, and the second would be my offensive strategy. So my defensive strategy, number one, is and I'll tell you, you should start right now if you haven't already. Pay off your debt, because during a crash, guess what? You don't want people coming to you to collect their debt. And during a crash, that's when a lot of people are going to be trying to collect their money because people are broke. They need money to survive. So if you can pay off your debt, that will relieve you of a lot of stress during a crash. Number two, and I've talked about that on the channel here a lot, save up at least 3 to 6 months of your emergency fund, so that if the market does crashes, the reason you want to do that is most often than not, a lot of people get laid off during a market crash. And what if you're one of those people and you don't have the emergency fund? It's going to be really, really sad. You don't want to be in that position. So if you can save up 3 to 6 months of your emergency fund, just if the market does crash and you're laid off, at least you have 6 months to kind of figure out things without any panic. And personally, what I'm doing right now as far as preparing from a defensive standpoint is that I am gradually pulling some of my money out of the market and holding it in cash. And I want to have enough cash so that if things go south, I have enough moolah to go back in and buy a lot of stocks at a lower price. So my goal is to every month I'm pulling some money back and holding cash. So if I can get about 50% of my current position in the market in cash, that's where I want to be. That way I can go shop like crazy if the market were to crash. So that is my position. That's my defensive strategy, and I plan on implementing that. I've already started buying some, selling some stocks and just holding that money. And you can call me a money hoarder. I don't care. I'm hoarding the money because I know that I'm going to use it down the road. And so that's my defensive strategy. So the offensive strategy in this case is, hey, you want to hang on to cash. You need cash, because during the recession, that's when most people, and I'll say most in quote, and smartest investors make a boatload of their money. When people panic and sell during the recession, guess what? Smart investors and people that know what they're doing buy during that period. And guess what? They don't even just go and buy at once in bulk. No, they do some sort of incremental buying. So let's say the market starts crashing and you have a stock that was $100, for example, right? And it goes down to $80 and everybody's like, oh my goodness, the market is crashing, I'm gonna sell. And they sell and get out at 80. And you have $10,000 cash. You go in and say, hey, I'm gonna buy at 80, you buy $1,000 worth of stocks this week, and wait, next week, oh, the market is still crashing. We're down to, let's say, $70 or $60 for that stock. You go in and buy maybe $2,000 worth of that stock at $60. In a month, that stock is down to $50 or even $40. you go in and buy $3,000 or $4,000 worth of that stock. In 2 or 3 months, the stock is down to maybe $20. You go in and buy another maybe $2,000 or $3,000 worth of that stock. And the reason why you're doing it that way is because once you take the average of you buying incrementally, you would have maybe $30 or $40 base price for that stock. And then when the stock goes back up, you would make a lot of money. And most often than not, that you've seen from 2008, most stocks that recovered, they've actually maybe gone up to about 100% or even 200% double their value. So that is something that you want to do. So on the offensive side, you want to hang on to cash and make sure that you're ready to go out and shop. When people are selling during the recession, you are buying. That's the place where you want to be. So I don't know when the market is going to crash. Again, like I said, I'm just listening to the smart people, and I'm doing my own research and just protecting myself, my investment, and my family. So you should do the same thing. Do your research, find stuff that you're comfortable with. And so in some cases, instead of you just pulling everything out of the market, there's other strategies that you can follow. You can either put your money in bonds, which are kind of secure. You can put your money in cryptocurrency that I've seen. I was just talking to a friend that is doing that. They're putting their money in cryptocurrency because they think that it's kind of stable, which that's questionable. Or you can put your money in gold, or in precious metal. Like, that's something where you can put your money to. So it's totally up to you to make sure that you do the right thing to be ready for a stock market. There is no date, no timeline as to when this is going to happen exactly. And that's the mystery about it. If people knew when it was going to happen, guess what? The prep work would have been so easy, right? If you knew the market was going to crash next month, what would you do? You probably sell everything today and get out of the market and just wait for it to crash. But there's no blueprint. So all you have to do is follow your instincts and your risk tolerance. How much are you willing to lose? Some people have their money invested in long-term investments, so they don't really care. If the market crashes right now, they don't need that money in the next 10 years. They know it's going to bounce back and even come back and some. So they don't even bother doing any strategy. But if you're worried about losing a ton of your money, or even if you're not just worrying about losing, but being a smart investor that can make more money, you pull out now. When things happen, you go back in and buy more at a lower price so that when it goes back up, you're sitting on a boatload of money. So that's it for the videos, guys. Question of the day: what is your strategy for preparing for the crash? Again, we don't know when this is going to happen, but are you taking some actionable steps to prepare for a market crash? Let me know in the comment section. If you like the video, go ahead and give that thumbs up, and if you find it useful, share it with one friend. And if you like what we're talking about here, hey, how about you hit that subscribe button? And as always, stay motivated.